You lost weight, but you don't look any leaner. What's up with that? So a lot of people go into this situation. It's very common whenever an individual starts pretty much their transformation journey, and all of a sudden they lose 5, 10, 15, even all the way up to 40 pounds. You lose weight, that's fantastic, but you notice that you really don't look any leaner. If anything, you actually feel like you look just a smaller version of what you are. You don't look like a leaner version. It's like someone were just to take the camera and zoom in out on you. You look the exact same. Body fat percentage is the same and everything, but you lost weight. So what's the deal? So guys, this happens more often than people realize, and it's very common with people that are just starting the diet bandwagon, starting their transformation journey. And it's really common when people start saying, I just want to lose weight, and they really go into that situation of really cutting those calories down and doing a lot of cardio. What ended up happening, guys, is the weight you lost, let's say you lost 20 pounds, for example, that 20 pounds you lost wasn't all fat. And in fact, in a lot of cases, and we've measured this out before, that 20 pounds you lost was pretty much the exact same amount of fat and muscle. You ended up losing a lot of muscle with that. Hence why most likely your body fat really didn't change. Why your look didn't change either. It's just because you didn't lose only fat. In fact, you lost a lot of muscle. So, and this happens, as you can tell when this happens, is say if you lose your first 10 pounds, and when you lose that 10 pounds, you really don't look leaner, you just look smaller. There is a very big difference from looking smaller and looking leaner. So how does this happen? So if you come into that situation to where, or you're there right now, how does it happen is really two things really are causing this. Is one, you're under eating, means you're not eating enough protein to keep the muscle, and two, you're not doing strength training in addition to the diet you're on or to the cardio you're doing. So when that happens, you know, especially when you're not doing your strength training, and in addition you're not keeping your protein intake up, your body's going to sacrifice muscle. And in fact, a lot of bodybuilders see this a lot in their final weeks of dieting, that you're kind of pushing those limits at that point in time. You're doing the same thing, except you're just not as lean as a bodybuilder. You're just getting smaller. Now, I've seen this happen, and maybe some of you have done this, where individuals decide that they're going to lose a bunch of weight, that they're going to run. And in fact, they're going to run a half marathon, or they're going to train for a marathon. They're doing the couch to half marathon program. Not the couch to 5K, kind of the same thing, just a little longer. But when they do that, they don't incorporate any kind of strength training into their workout plan. What ends up happening is, sure, they lose, I've seen people lose 30 to 40 pounds, but yet they look smaller and softer and squishier. And some of you may know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. So guys, here's how you kind of prevent this from happening. One, you're going to have to strength train. You have to lift weight, because really, if you don't use it, you lose it. So when you start lifting weight, it keeps that muscle on your frame while you're dieting to make sure that, one, you're losing fat and not losing muscle. Strength training and keeping your strength up during that process is the best way to ensure that. And the second thing is, if you're going to start strength training, which I recommend everyone does, make sure your protein intake is at an adequate amount. A good rule of thumb for protein intake is anywhere for most people is kind of, you know, a good rule of thumb, about 0.8 to 1 gram a pound per body weight. You know, if you feel like you got a lot of excessive fat to lose, then base it on lean body mass. So that kind of at least will ballpark it for you without really knowing some specific numbers. Strength train. Keep your protein intake up, especially while you're going in those low calorie levels and you're really doing all that cardio to try to get that weight off. When you go to that point in time, that right there will help make sure that the weight you lose is fat and very little to no muscle be lost. So what ends up happening then is when you lose that 10, 15, 20, even 40 pounds, you actually look leaner and not just a smaller version of yourself now. So if you're in that situation now, start your strength training, stop that, because if you start losing that muscle, I'm telling you right now, you're going to get in a psychological trip that when you have to go to the state of putting it back on, it's going to really freak you out, because that scale will start doing this a lot. I'm trying to get you auto guys to avoid that. And plus, and to be completely honest, when people want to lose weight, they're wanting to lose fat. No one's really wanting to lose muscle. So let's save that muscle when you do this. Strength train, keep the protein intake at that recommended level, 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight for most people, unless your doctor has something different. Go that route while you're doing your cardio, while you're in those low calories, then That'll make sure that you keep that muscle that you have, and again, just don't look like a skinnier, softer version of yourself. So guys, this is Travis Merritt with the Rowlett Transformation Center. If you got any comments or questions, hey, just put them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to help out. But in the meantime, everyone, take care, have amazing workouts, even better meals, and look forward to chatting with all of you tomorrow.